Greetings, everyone. Jonathan here from Plagiarism Today. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I've been trying to scale back a little because I only want to do these when I have something useful to say. And let's face it, the news the past couple of days hasn't been very conducive to rambling 5-minute or so rants on the topic of copyright. But today's news was very conducive, and that involves Retraction Watch, which, by the way, is a wonderful blog that I am a long-time subscriber to. I get their new posts emailed to me as they go up. It is run by Ivan Arnowski and Adam Marcus. Had to make sure I got their names right. But long story short, I subscribe to them because, you know, they're kind of on the plagiarism side of things. They cover academic retractions, and a lot of those include plagiarism cases, which obviously relate to what I'm doing. So I subscribe. Makes perfect sense. But I didn't really expect the copyright side to come into things. And it did yesterday, as I received an email from the site as part of the subscription saying that they had been the victim of a false DMCA attack. Long story short, Retraction Watch, as part of its covering of academic research retractions, did 10 articles about Anil Potti, an Indian researcher who apparently has quite a checkered history with a lot of retractions, partial retractions, and corrections. Well, either Potti himself or someone trying to help him, it's unclear who actually did this right now, took and copied and pasted those 10 articles about Potti, pasted it on this Indian website, claiming it to be from some Indian news agency. I can't give you big enough air quotes, when the reality is it looks more like a spam blog designed by a 9-year-old, and then filed a DMCA take notice against the original site. Stupidity just doesn't quite cover it. I mean, let's look real quick at what this person did. First, they took 10 posts, copied them wholesale, and put them on another site. That's copyright infringement. Right there, bing, bang, boom, copyright infringement. Then they filed a DMCA takedown notice against the original site. Violation of DMCA Section 512F against false DMCA takedown notices. What does one say about this? It is unflappable legal stupidity here. I mean, the only protection they have is that apparently they are from India, so maybe, going after them could be quite difficult, even though, part of the DMCA process and establishes some level of jurisdiction in the U.S., it could be very difficult to go after them as the end result. But, yeah, this is pretty dumb. I mean, the dumbest part about it in a strange way is that one of the big criticisms of the notice and takedown provisions of the DMCA is that it is very, very difficult to nail people who file false DMCA takedown notices. And the reason is, under the law, you have to prove that they filed a knowingly filed a false DMCA takedown notice. And that's very difficult. I mean, look at the Michael Crook case. How do you separate the guy who's actively trying to silence critics versus the idiot that just doesn't know copyright? And how do you prove it? It's very tough. The law probably could stand some tweaking in that area in order to, have a very real conversation about what constitutes a false or a fake DMCA takedown notice that is actionable under the law. I mean, I don't think every fair use dispute should be actionable, but come on. I mean, if you're just filing DMCA notices and not having any clue what you're doing, you're being reckless and irresponsible. At some point, it comes into recklessness, basically, is what I'm saying. But the point is this. It's a very high barrier to prove it was a knowingly false DMCA takedown notice, but here the evidence is handed to them. I mean, they copied the text. They had no way to not know it was a false DMCA takedown notice. So under the law, they set themselves up. And the dumbest part of all of it is it blew up in Mr. Potti's face, and it was quite predictable that it would. I mean, if you'd asked me just 3 days ago to name 2 people who had been featured on Retraction Watch in the past 2 months, or the past month or so, I couldn't do it. There's so many posts, several a day sometimes, it just gets all jumbled, and I read the names, and they just go in one ear and out the other. I don't remember anyone. But Mr. Potti, I will forever remember you. And so will the readers of Ars Technica and other mainstream media news sites that seem to be picking this up. You're going to have much more notoriety now, both as a bad researcher and as the guy that was at least theoretically or somehow involved with this false DMCA takedown notice. So yeah, way to protect your reputation. I'm just saying, whoever did this, whether it was Potti himself, someone working for him, or someone helping him without consulting him, you blew it. You backfired. Everything is a million times worse than it was, and that's just the way it's going to be. So, incredibly stupid, incredibly boneheaded, and I'm looking forward to it. The Retraction Watch has said that they're contacting an attorney. Attorney's directing to file a counter notice, which they didn't say explicitly they were doing it, but it seems like they are. So hopefully they will do that. The content will be restored post haste, and then we can see about other fallout from this. So, and that's all I have right now. All in all, a mind-blowing piece of stupidity. But until tomorrow, this is Jonathan Bailey, signing off.